Well, welcome back to this next session in Studio 2. I hope your caffeine and sugar levels are suitably boosted and you're ready for another exciting session. Just to say, and this goes for the whole event, I guess, join the conversation, please. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram is where we are. Hashtag EDD22, hashtag Global Gateway, and hashtag EDD Young Leaders. So, also don't forget the Global Village is there. There are 78 stands. Whether you're online or in person, you can visit those stands and you can interact with the people who are manning them. Anyway, right, this session is Catalysing Young Agri-Entrepreneurs. So, I guess for me, questions arise like how do young agri-entrepreneurs understand the bigger picture? Who or what is the bridge between them and industry, markets, and consumers? And how is best practice identified, defined, and disseminated? Let me introduce to you somebody who knows a lot more about this subject than me. Please come to the stage, Isolina Boto. Thank you.
I think the microphone works.
It's
yes.
live.
I'm not sure I know more than you, but anyway, what I do know today is that we should have a very exciting session. I'm Isolina Boto. I'm the head of Networks and Alliances at COLACP, co-organizer of this event with the European Commission and the Organization of African, Caribbean and Pacific States that you will meet now. I would like just to apologize on behalf of Leonard Mizzi that couldn't be with us today as you had in the program because he's out of town, he's not in Brussels. And the colleagues are following, so some are in the room and are following live as well, and they will ask you questions. So I'm very, very excited to hear about entrepreneurs coming from Africa and the Caribbean and their successes, which is what counts really at COLACP. And I will call now the speakers and the moderators. Yvonne Chileche is the expert of trade value chains at the OECPS. She will hand over with me now, and I wish you a very, very good session. I thank you very much for being with us today. So please, all the speakers, they know where they have to sit, Yvonne, and of course, our main moderator, Estipion. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. A warm welcome to this exciting debate that will focus on catalyzing young agri-entrepreneurs' successes. This morning, we have a great lineup for you on great stories from Africa and the Caribbean region. As mentioned, my name is Yvonne Chileche. I work for the Secretariat of the Organization of Africa, Caribbean, Pacific States, or ACP in short, and I'm currently working on commodities and value chains. I'm a Zambian national. This event, as Isolina has mentioned, is actually being supported by the Fit for Market Plus program, currently being implemented by COLACP within the framework of the development cooperation between the EU and OECPS. Now, before we start our discussions, I just would like to remind everyone that for those that would like to submit questions, you can please go on www.slido.com and use the code #EDD2222. You can also choose this room on the top left of the corner, Catalyzing Youth Agri-Entrepreneurs Successes. Without further ado, Let me now introduce you to our first speaker, Mr. Escipion Oliveira Gomez. Mr. Oliveira is the Assistant Secretary General in charge of the Department of Economic Transformation and Trade from the OSCPS Secretariat. He is a national of Dominican Republic and has 20 years of experience in the field of multi-donor programs and projects, focusing, among others, on SMEs. He joined the OSCPS Secretariat in July 2020. Prior to this appointment, he was the Deputy Executive Director of the Caribbean Export Agency. Escipion, as he fondly likes to be called, holds a master's degree in business administration with a specialization in finance, a graduate degree in business, as well as a bachelor's degrees in economics. Escipion, you have the floor to introduce your panel.
Thank you very much, Yvonne. I am really proud to be here today in the European Development Days, celebrating the cooperation of the European Union with the countries of the Organization of African, Caribbean, and Pacific States. We're very proud to partner with COLE-ACP and other partners in celebrating youth. For those that are in front, I'm sorry if the glare from my buds is really affecting your eyes, and the youth is on that part of the group. They chose an old man to introduce young entrepreneurs. I'm really happy to be here today with them. I will start with Mrs. Sandra Snowden from Ghana. We have been sharing for the last few days, and she is working on climate-smart, sustainable methods, empowering youth and women, something that we're really trying to support as a future. And she has 2 prizes, one in packaging from the Netherlands, 2019, and one in taste in the United Kingdom in 2021. So we're really happy to have her here today. We also have Mr. Noel Guesson, Chief Technical Officer of Lono from Côte d'Ivoire. They told me I cannot change languages between the takes, but bienvenue. We're very happy to be with people that really promote sustainable development. He's working in recycling nutrients and organic matter, trying to help our farmers to be more eco-friendly, and producing electricity and fertilizers, which is very important for our group of states. And last but not least, we have from the beautiful Caribbean region. As you guess, I'm from the Caribbean. From Trinidad and Tobago, Mrs. Raquel Renin, Managing Director of the Market Movers, first online company in Trinidad and Tobago selling fresh products. That's really interesting. I am not going to read you their CVs because I prefer to spend more time talking with them. And I will also like to welcome everybody in the room. And let's hear from the youth and let's learn from them. Thank you very much. I will start then with Sandra. Sandra, please.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Can I have the slideshow on, please? Thank you. So Handy Farms is a mango growing and processing company. We're based in Ghana in West Africa. We are generally a second-generation mango farm. This is a mango farm that has been in existence for a number of years. But being a second-generation mango farm, what we do is we're changing the status quo of agriculture in Africa. And this came about as a challenge that we found in agriculture. Generally, it's very traditional being a farmer and being in agriculture in Ghana. It's old-fashioned and traditional methods of farming, traditional methods of harvesting, and also traditional methods of selling fresh produce. This generated in bringing about some innovation and also including youth in our business, in our industry, and in our production. So it's very necessary and important for us that innovation was forefront. Innovation had to be the base of our business and our vision. Another big challenge that we face is post-harvest loss in mango industry. There's always disease and infestation, poor harvesting techniques that reduce the quality and the aesthetic look of mangoes. So this really affects the shape, the look, and the finished raw material. Now, in doing that, we're generating ourselves to be able to support the mango industry in Ghana, putting forefront mango as the Ghana's green gold. This is what we refer to it in Ghana. Turning mango from being just a raw material, just a fresh fruit, to being lucrative and generating more income and more revenue for farmers and for the whole mango industry. So out of our innovation for processing came a range of products. It's a variety of products that have been developed through the raw materials that we have. Some of the products are displayed on the screen for you to see. We have a range of hot sauces. One was mentioned that won an award in the UK last year for the Great Taste Award. This gives it a lot of credibility and allows for people to understand the traceability, the taste, and the ingredients that goes in it. We have two variants of that, and then we've also got mango jams. We worked with a lot of researchers and developers to be able to develop these products to include all local ingredients. Majority of all the products we use are local. It's all natural, non-preservatives, and even our preserving agent is also local. It's made from cassava starch. So as much as possible, we move away from any imports, any foreign substances at all. Our ingredients are simple and straightforward. We also have honey, which is harvested from our mango farms. This is purely for pollination of our mango trees, and this is a byproduct that we also sell and increase our revenue from. Then we have a range of frozen products that serves to prolong the shelf life of mango, allowing mango to be available all year round for consumption. Also trying to change people's mindset, people's attitude and habits on only consuming fresh fruits. So mangoes can be consumed all year round, all day, in your breakfast, in your lunch, and also in your dinner. So we have products that are able to be part of your breakfast, your lunch, and your dinner. Dried fruits is a new addition that has been added on, which we're doing this through solar drying. I'll speak more about that in the next slide. And frozen mango is also an added product that we've added on to be able to serve our own production and also for local processing. Now, our aim is to be climate smart farmers and agriculture. We've adopted solar panels and solar irrigation for drip irrigation and for added fertigation in our farms. This allows for us to use groundwater and then also solar energy, which is able to generate not just our power, but also our drip irrigation. We work with local artisans and local manufacturers and industries to be able to install all these equipment and machinery. These have all been tested and proven by Ghana Energy Commission, and it's safe and it's installed, and then we get reviewed once a year to make sure we're still following the right standards and our energy is full and clean for use on our agricultural farms. A new addition to our industry is ecotourism, so Eco-Agro Tourism. This is a way to encourage more youth and generally most people to understand what agriculture is, transparency, traceability, knowing where your food is coming from, promoting farm-to-table production. So you know when you see a product on the shelves in supermarkets, at export or at farmers markets or on your table, you know exactly where it's come from. We invite people onto the farm to educate them, give them an understanding of how all these products are grown, especially our mango, which we're very proud of. It allows them to come onto the farm, learn practices, get a bit of knowledge, and also interact with farmers, improving and encouraging local support for local farmers, so promoting farming in Ghana. As we said, we empower youth and women generally in our business. So this, because we're a full value chain, we work from the production, processing, distribution, and sales of our products. We're working from farm gates, working with farmers, introducing global gap practices so they can be global standard farmers. So this allows for their mangoes to be sold on international standards and also to be used within our processing. So this picture on the right is with farm assurers for Global Gap, doing training on our sites with multiple farmers who come through to us, and then we train them on good practices. We also go into the farms and do internal audits with them. We work also on a demo site on our farm to give them practical understanding, practical knowledge of how their fruits should be grown and should be to be handled. Best practices on their farm. We also encourage and we give them techniques, different techniques to be included in their production. We work with a lot of young women within that district for processing. They get to understand how to add value to raw materials. And this doesn't only end in mango. We also translate this with contract manufacturing. So this is being done in multiple fruits. We're moving into pineapple production. And then next, we're also moving into papaya and various other fruits. So we're able to encourage and teach young women how to process, add value to raw materials, if it's oils, if it's pastes, if it's sauces, dried fruits, whichever form that they want to. You can start small. It doesn't have to be a lot of cost. Minimal cost can be incurred, and then you can be able to set up and start small artisan businesses of this nature. We work with them also on training them for sales. So all these young girls are equipped and understand how to go out into the public to make sales. And majority of them end up moving from our business to developing their own little businesses in different sectors in different regions in Ghana. Oops, I went too fast. Thank you.
Can you put up my slides, please? So, hi everyone. In the meantime, I'll introduce myself. I'm Noël Nguessan. I'm from Côte d'Ivoire. I'm the founder and director of operations of a company called Lono that was founded in 2016 with the aim of making technology available to the various agricultural value chains in Côte d'Ivoire so that the waste can enter the value chain, you know, what is considered waste today. So just to give some basic numbers, for every kilogram of produce actually exported, sold, there's between 2 and 10 kilos of waste or organic material that is not in the value chain, but it's available. So that is really where we positioned ourselves with products and services. So I will present a few of them. So this is one of our product lines. It's a composter that is equipped with an aerator and a moisture control system. So the idea is the waste is available. How can we give the farmers their own technology so that they can capture the value that's within that waste? So it's carbon, but it's also NPK. You know, for those that are in agriculture, know that these are the key minerals for fertilizers that the farmers can return to the soil and eventually increase the money in their pocket. That is the main aim. So we've developed 2 technologies for this, and this is one of them. And in terms of value chains, all agricultural value chains are concerned, but this specific equipment is more for farm gate waste. So waste that's available directly at the farm where they do the harvest, so the vegetable matter that is left after you get the fruit of the vegetable. So here we're training some cocoa farmers to use the pods and the other waste they have to make some fertilizer. You kind of get enough to fertilize about 2 hectares. We do have some R&D going on to increase the effect of the fertilizer on the soil and also the carbon sequestration potential of the compost, because you can, the primary goal is to increase the income of the farmers. That's clear. However, we all know there's also environmental benefits in terms of reducing pollution of the waste, polluting the soil and the water, but also removing CO2 from the air and bringing it into the soil. So these are the things we try to, the synergies we try to find through commercial activity, but also through R&D. This is the second product. This one is a digester that we manufacture locally that is not adapted for all types of waste, but for most, that you can put directly in. You get gas for cooking and also get liquid fertilizer. Both the equipments that I've shown so far, we have patents for and we produce locally, have been awarded by different bodies. And the pricing point, like it still remains a bit expensive for farmers, but the aim is that they are able to pay back this investment within 2 years max, and in some cases within 1 year. And that is where we try to add value on top of the technology. It's really on the assistance we give the farmers in training and in after sales to make sure that they can capture this value, because the technology itself is only as useful as the user, you know, as how the user uses it. So yeah, same technology. And maybe a second activity we do is for factory gate waste, where you have larger quantities. Here we see a palm oil mill, but we do the same with the mango sector, where you have factory gate waste that's in larger quantities, and you have an actor in the value chain that is maybe focused on something else, like processing. We can either partner with them or independently develop a composting project, as we see here. We have one 5,000-ton compost project ongoing right now. And we are now entering more and more into also large-scale biomethane projects, so biogas that's upgraded to biomethane for the industrial use or transport use. So in the case of Abidjan, the capital of Côte d'Ivoire, there's now a bit of a move towards biofuels for the public transportation sector, and we are at the forefront of that. So this is a bit the compost we produce. We create, for this industrial project specifically, there was a separate company created in which we're shareholders as a special project company. Yeah. And we structure the investments combining grant, equity, and loan. So it's, I mean, we try to combine the pure business side with the social impact and environmental impact, and that is not easy. Here's a training of farmers in cocoa. I was talking about how we boost the effect of the compost. So this is a partner we have that the product that my colleague is holding there is a product from a partner that we have that's a biostimulant that you combine with the compost so that its effects are amplified. Because there's always the challenge of the transition from chemical to organic fertilizer must not penalize the farmer, either economically or in yield or in any way, you know. So we need ways for the organic fertilizer to cost the same and give the same effect on yields as chemical fertilizers. So compost alone cannot do that. You need to boost the compost. We use biostimulants, we use biochar, and a few other things. Yeah, this is a nursery of papaya. Maybe if I can go back. Yeah, here you can kind of see in the middle, the line that received compost biostimulant, and on the left side, yeah, I think it's your left too, on the left side, they planted the same day but didn't get the compost, and we see, you know. So the product works, but you still need to look a bit deeper to see if it's financially also competitive. And this maybe to close out, this is a biofuel project using rubber seeds, so rubber, latex for tires and so on. The seeds, we make vegetable oil and biodiesel that's going to be used very soon in Abidjan for the buses. And this is the kind of activities we do when next you see the biomethane. So it's really about making value chains that are existing, that are classic value chains, but having innovative business models that add on to them using the organic material that is currently called waste. And in between all of that, I can say we do a bit of technical assistance and consulting, because there's always a link. Before you start implementing, you need studies, you know. So yeah, that's what we do, and thank you very much.
Can you pull up my slides, please? Hi, everyone. So thank you for having me. My name is Rachel Rani from D Market Movers Limited and Trinidad and Tobago. And we started D Market Movers in 2009, 13 years ago. And out of that brand, we were able to develop 4 continued brands: Our Moving Table, Farm and Function, and MM Design, which I'm going to share with you right now. So this is my business partner, David. Everyone calls him the fun one. But we started this business in 2009. Basically, Market Movers is an online delivery service of greengrocer items. We were the first in the country. And back then, we were told that Trinidadians will never buy food on the internet. Fast forward to 13 years later, And just to show you, we did start in 2009. As you could see, we had one of those digital cameras with these timestamp. And we always know how far we came by the length of our hair. And fast forward, 13 years later, we now have the only storefront in Trinidad and Tobago that is solely click and collect. You still order online and you collect at the store. We now have a staff of over 15. They eat a lot of fruits. And as you can see, we proved them wrong. We showed that Trinidadians were progressive, that they were seeking out health and convenience, which is what our company stands for. And out of this, we were able to grow and develop in so many ways around food. And just unpacking a little bit, one of the brands is our moving table. Of course, this was heavily impacted by the COVID-19, but it was a monthly farm-to-table dining event, and we're hoping to start it back up soon. And what we found is that the local buyers, the restaurants, were only using imported ingredients. And we wanted to demonstrate that you can prepare a meal with 95% local ingredients, and that's basically what we did at every moving table. Our chefs went as far to dehydrate papaya seeds to use as black pepper and really innovate the way we use local in Trinidad and Tobago. So this is the online platform. You can literally go on the website and buy mangoes, pawpaw, papaya. And it was one of the first e-commerce websites in Trinidad as well. You can pay with your credit card. We have a lot of diaspora who order online for their families back home. And during the pandemic, our business literally grew overnight. In one night, we woke up the next day and we had 1 month's worth of sales in one night, because persons were seeking out food, access to foods during the lockdown. And in Trinidad, we had a very serious lockdown. We couldn't party. So our company is very data-driven. Because we're a digital platform, we use a lot of data to decide how we purchase, how we grow and expand our portfolio. As you can see, I mean, it's a little small, but you can see our top-selling item is tomatoes. So, of course, we've invested in those areas. We work with farmers. We get contracted farmers to try and keep quality control, pricing, those things available. And I wish I could show this to the balloons officer who told us no 13 years ago. But we went from 10 customers to over 10,000 online shoppers, registered users. We went from 10 deliveries to over, I missed a part, 10,000 deliveries to 500,000 deliveries, sorry. And we went from selling £1 of food online to over £1 million sold in the last few months. Of local food, that is. And that's a huge accomplishment for any business, of course, but it would really validate it that there is room for local, there is room for local agriculture in Trinidad and Tobago. And you can literally buy a breadfruit on the website and have it delivered to your door. So this is what it looks like in our store every day. Orders are packed up. Persons who are differently able, who can't have access or get out to go to the grocery, they're able to shop online on our website. The next brand that came out of this, again, we were centered around health and convenience. And we realized on the grocery shelf only had imported berries. You know, kids are asking for apples over mangoes in Trinidad. So we wanted to find a way to add value to that. And we have the only local frozen fruit line on the market. We have papaya, frozen mango, guava, pineapple, passion fruit. And this was really important for us to add value and to demonstrate that, you know, we can add value to our local products. You can make smoothies, cocktails. It's distributed nationwide. We actually export to 3 Caribbean islands right now, and we're really trying to expand and export this product into several markets. And as you can see, we go seriously from the farm. We process the fruits, blast freeze it, and then we sell it on the, locally and regionally. We also compost our organic material. So, you know, I always find when you add value, in one way, you're usually taking value from somewhere else. So it's really important for us to give back and put that back for the farmers. We use the waste products to create compost. Another company does it. And it's then given to the farmers to reuse. The last company that came out of this, and when we did Farm and Function, you know, a lot of processors, agro-processors and companies came to us saying, you know, how did you get your packaging? How did you meet compliance? How were you able to enter certain markets? And what we did was started a design company for food brands specifically. And our motto is, we'll work for food. We also work for money, but these are just some of the brands that we were able to help with their branding, their packaging. Hongwing Coffee is a 100-year-old company. They were able to innovate and enhance their packaging and branding, and they also are entering new markets. This brand, Cocoa Wine, they won an award in Germany recently for their packaging and taste, frozen cassava, and we've been able to help over 150 other food processors and entrepreneurs to develop their branding, develop their packaging, and get into new markets and even export. So that's a little bit about myself, and hopefully we can have a great discussion around this.
So now we come to the most interesting part, is you asking questions to our young entrepreneurs. And please raise your hand, and there will be somebody giving you a microphone. So we have a young lady in the back.
Yeah, hello. My name is Christina from World Bicycle Relief. It's an NGO that provides bicycles to rural areas for education and healthcare, but also, very importantly, for agriculture. Because we see that there's a transportation gap in many of these rural areas. So I was wondering if any of the speakers had any experiences of transportation, or specifically bicycles, in their businesses. And by the way, great work, inspiring stories. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Maybe we can take a couple of questions. Yes, sir? Before you answer. The young man in front. So everybody's young compared to me. So.
Hi, my name is Wannes Aiwaz. I'm CEO founder of Gaio. We're working also on the upcycling of ingredients in Africa. And I've got two questions, maybe. Do you expect your product could be exported in Europe, for example? And secondly, it's concerned about my activity. We're working on ingredients for industry, for health, food, and cosmetic. And I see ingredients for food, for fertilizer, but not on the middle. Is there a problem about equipment or transformation process in Africa?
Maybe one more question before the answer. And yes, Isolina, please.
Thank you very much, and congratulations, very inspiring stories. What would be your next step? What would be the most you would need it for anybody that hears to you, from finance, from investors and so on, to expand your business? Thank you very much.
Yes. So maybe we start with you.
Okay, can I take the second question, please? So for export, yes, we are hoping on exporting our products into Europe. We currently work with distributors. We're here hoping we'll find a distributor as well that we can speak with to be able to have our products positioned here, so there'll be a presence here that people can purchase. Ideally online, because digital is the way to go. So if we have that, that is an option for us. Now your second one, yes, we're also working towards that. We're trying to bridge between food and cosmetics and pharmaceutical, because we have a lot of waste products, particularly our seeds, the mango seeds. So what we're doing is we're working with research and developers to dry the seeds and then extract the kernel, which eventually can be processed into cold-pressed mango butter or oil. And that can serve the cosmetic industry in Ghana alone, and then also for exports.
And then third.
Noel, please.
Okay. All right, so then on the bike, yeah, I'm sorry, I don't. On the second question, indeed, we're doing similar thing with mango, but as part of our service to our clients that are the agro processors and that are looking for more and more ways to valorize their waste. So the mango butter is a hot one. But there's similar things in a lot of other value chains, where whether it's healthcare or cosmetics. Yeah, so we can discuss after more in detail. And whether technology, in our case, because it's not a consumable product, let's say, it's more B2B, what we do, but there is a market in Europe, and we are opening subsidiaries in France and the Netherlands for that reason. Now, on what we need as next steps, there's because we are hardware technology driven, we do need R&D partnerships where we have synergies in goals, because the costs of developing new products, of trialing products and going from the technology readiness levels all the way to commercial is not low. And the funding is not available in Côte d'Ivoire per se. So these types of partnerships on top of the finance, but we need the right partner as well that has that goal. That is very important for us. And then maybe I can add to that off-takers, you know, that are like, since we work for our clients, so if you are interested in our clients being more carbon neutral or having more sustainable practices, it benefits us, you know. So look, you know, making the link between our clients and their off-takers that are more environmental friendly and sustainable driven, that's important. That's why we find such a strong connection with the Cole ACP. Now, yeah, I think that's it. Huh? Thank you.
Rachel, please.
Sure. Transportation isn't a serious issue in Trinidad and Tobago. I mean, we're terrible drivers, but more or less, the farmers tend to have transport capabilities, or we collect straight from the farms. In terms of exports, we really believe in preserving the Caribbean way of life. And for me, I think we really want to export throughout the region and change the palate of Caribbean people. We've gotten so accustomed to berries and apples, and we're supposed to be, well, not supposed to be, but we should be, eating our local foods, the nutritional value, and increasing that. But of course, exporting into markets where our products can be valued, because we can't really do or compete with larger countries in terms of mass production, but I think our products are really unique and specific to our region. So finding markets that really value what we do, I think will be very important for us. And in terms of what our company needs, I think for sure, as entrepreneurs, R&D is probably one of the most expensive and difficult to do on your own. And we're working on doing a shelf-stable pineapple product to substitute a lot of the imports. You will not believe how many pineapples we import into Trinidad and Tobago. So getting something that's shelf-stable that can service the food service industry, I think, can be a really progressive step.
Thank you very much for the answers. I don't know if there are other questions. Gentlemen over here.
Thanks so much. Phil Malone from Access Agriculture. When it comes to Ghana and you're talking to the smallholder farmers, obviously in the south you've got two main languages, in the north maybe about 15, 20. How important is using local language when you're working with these women's groups to make sure they're able to follow the right standards?
Right, so it comes in very necessary because we also speak the language. That is a bonus. We are in the south, so it's only two languages. It's the Dangbe language and then English. Generally, majority of them can't speak English, or Ga and Tree, and we speak all those languages, so it's a lot easier. And also, all the facilitators and trainers we work with are able to translate from English, Tree, Ga, whichever one that suits majority of the women. But all the materials we provide are always in English. And generally, we work with young people who have gone to very minimum primary school and can speak some form of English. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you very much. It was indeed impressive to hear those examples. My name is Irina Kireva. It's O'Connor and Company. My question is in relation to local production and quality schemes. If you have been considering to promote or to really distinguish your products, not just mangoes, but let's say organic mangoes produced, and also products coming from specific areas, geographical indications or traditional knowledge. Because I was really impressed by the fact that intellectual property rights are so important, protecting your products with patents and also new designs, new company that you have created. Thank you very much.
Any other question? So I also had a question to you. How do you link yourself to the tourism industry in your countries? Because in a lot of the countries that I visited, actually you always eat important products at the hotel. And we would like to know how you're working on that, because we want people to have that real experience when they come to our countries. Plus, it's a first step towards exporting as well, being able to fulfill the quality standards of hotels. So if you could, maybe the three of you. And the last question is also maybe for you, Noel. How do you work with universities in Côte d'Ivoire to promote R&D? Because that is sometimes a missing middle.
Okay, so as I mentioned in my presentation, we promote a lot of Eco-Agro Tourism. So we invite people onto our farms and our processing facilities to be able to understand our locally grown fruits, which is the mango, be able to enjoy it and value it for what it is. As far as in the hotels, we're working with them slowly to be able to transform some of the imported products that they serve in there. For example, you go to a breakfast table at a hotel and they're serving strawberry jam in jars. Then an alternative for us we're promoting is a mango jam. Why don't you have mango jam on your breakfast tables? This is an alternative you can include. Again, Rachel mentioned children know to eat an apple a day. Really, we should be eating a mango a day if it's in season, yes. But those are little steps that we're making towards transforming and encouraging more local consumption.
And the nomination of origin and geographical indicators, you work on that? The lady asked about the nominations of origin and geographical indicators. Sorry. Nominations. Protecting your intellectual property.
Oh, right. Okay, yes. So as much as possible, we protect our products because everything is processed in Ghana. So we've got certifications in Ghana, no patents yet on our finished products, but all our machinery and everything is made locally, so that is all protected.
So to add to what you're saying, so on the technology we definitely need patents. So we do that, and then for some of our clients we give them support to get the organic certification or even bio certification that then makes basically them need our products even more, So we provide that service because we know what we provide is, what we sell is part of that ecosystem. And sometimes they don't have the organizational capacity, time, or finance to go through that lengthy process, So that is indeed something we do. And in terms of geographical location, not so much us, but the companies that work in that space are interested also in what we do. So we just try to work with these niches. On the tourism sector, again, every ecotourism company in Côte d'Ivoire wants to work with us because we are part of them being eco-friendly, So we do look for them and make it easy for them to work with us, with the low entry cost. That's the best way, because once it works, then it's much easier to expand. And on the local, we work with the local polytechnical university. That's where we actually finance the refurbishment of a lab there. We recruit there, we train students. So we invest a lot in that, and that comes back to our needs, because that investment must come from the profit of sales. So it takes a lot of weight on our cash flow, but it is something we do and we continue to do, and link them even to international research partners to expand their capacity, because it's a new field of knowledge in Côte d'Ivoire.
So organic certification, those things are sometimes challenging in Trinidad, specifically. However, we work with different foundations like the Cropper Foundation, who's helping us, helping our farmers, grow more sustainably. In terms of geolocation, there's brands that we would have designed for, like Moruga Hill rice. So those are specific to that region. So those are some of the challenges that we face, but it is possible. It's just a very lengthy process. And that's the goal in the end. So,
thank you very much, everybody. I think there's 1 minute and 30 left, and they're going to kill me if we go over. So I just wanted to say that it's been very interesting, the debate. I think that we're in the right track. Our young entrepreneurs are working to allow that in the future, agriculture is not synonymous to poverty in our countries. So we help you very much. We thank you very much for that. I think that is very interesting. I think that you're improving livelihoods of your stakeholders, of your communities. You're making us very proud to all of us. And I would just like to say that the Organization of African, Caribbean, and Pacific States, led by my Secretary General, Mr. George Rebelo Pinto Chicote, really values the work that you're doing. We do believe in promoting youth and women. And in this quest, we have been so proud to come with the European Union, with Cole ACP, that make this a reality. And I sincerely hope that I can find your product soon in supermarkets in Europe, in niche markets, because you're actually going toward those niche markets. And I will maybe ask everybody to give a clap to our young entrepreneurs and wish them well.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you, everybody, and thank you for respecting the time and sharing some amazing stories. I have to say that, you know, I visit and take part in and moderate a number of conferences, and so often people are talking about theory and what they would like to do if the conditions were right. It's brilliant and so life-affirming to see that people are taking the concepts and putting them into action. And you know, is there anything better than somebody telling you you can't do something? It's what a great motivator that is. You know, oh, you'll never be able to succeed at that. Right, let me show you. I mean, we've had brilliant examples from Côte d'Ivoire, from Ghana, and from Trinidad and Tobago. And I just, you know, as a recipient of organic fruit and vegetables every week by delivery, I'm such a big fan of that business model. And repurposing and adding value by using the waste, absolutely right. Love it. Okay. I don't want to say too much more because the next session in here starts at 12:05. So by my reckoning, you've got about 7 minutes to grab a cup of coffee or do whatever you need to do, and then we'll see you back here then. Thank you.